Hello, everybody. I would really like to share a little bit about the process I've been going through. So, in my work as an EFT practitioner, grief is definitely one of the common things people come to me for. A grief of a loved one, grief of a pet, recent grief, and a grief of long time ago. And I've also been going through this process lately, and EFT has been such an amazing tool for me. My father is at the nearing the end of his life. He's 94 years old today, and he's slowly fading. And EFT has been like instrumental for me to address the different emotions I've had, for sure, grief and other emotions. It can be feeling drained or feeling frustrated or feeling annoyed about something, like just having this powerful transformative tool to be able to address all the aspects of what I'm experiencing with my family. And I think one of the things I also realized today in my work was that my father symbolizes an old structure that on a planetary level is dissolving bit by bit. It's the structure I was raised with, which was a combination of, love and authoritarianism and love and fear, love and control, self-sacrifice, guilt, all these survival mechanisms. And I felt quite protected in this structure also. It was in many ways a reliable structure because my parents went through a lot, especially coming from Palestine and losing their land, their home in 1948 when the indigenous population of Palestine, Palestinians, were dispossessed of their land and they became refugees and moved to Lebanon. And my dad has shared his experience in his autobiography as a Palestinian Christian. So they've been through a lot. And and I'm grateful for that structure. And I did EFT tapping, just recognizing that because my dad symbolizes that old structure, watching him fade means that structure is also dissolving. And this is the structure that I know. It's the structure that has defined me my whole life. Like, I don't know who I am without that structure. That's a part of me feels that way. It feels scary. And then there's another part of me that feels like, especially because I'm 50, and I recognize the privilege of having both parents around at 50 who've been healthy and who've been around and a force of support for me throughout my whole life. But this other structure, but there's another part of me that is birthing a new structure with different values, values around trust and divine connection and inspired spiritual action, um, ease and abundance, fulfillment. And and there are these two parts of me. One part that's fearful, holding on to an old structure as it's slowly dissolving, and this other part of me that is excited to give birth to this new structure that's more on my terms, especially with all the healing that I've been going through. And I did EFT tapping, um, acknowledging both these structures as two parts that can right now coexist together, thanking both of them for just trying to protect me, thanking the old structure for everything it's done for me, and all the wisdom and the lessons that I have drawn from it, and that I've done everything in my life to reach this point where I'm ready. I'm ready to give birth to this new structure. The last 2 years, it has been more and more dissolving an old identity, especially intensely in the last year. That's what I've been like going through, and now it's actually the structure. And what I notice working with my clients is a lot of times that even when parents pass and with that old structure, a lot of times people continue living their lives energetically with that old structure and nothing changes because they're holding on to what's familiar, what has defined them their whole life. But we all have the seed to give birth to a new structure that will allow us to blossom, that will allow us to take care of ourselves, to be present, be in good health and vitality. have healthy, loving boundaries, uh, um, work, engage in a vocation that really allows us to sustain ourselves and thrive, and also is fulfilling for our heart. All of this it's all possible for us. It just depends what we're willing to open up to, whether we feel safe to open to that, whether we feel allowed to open to that, whether we feel worthy of opening to that and giving birth to that. And I've seen with people how those whose parents pass, they remain in the inherited energetic structures and they hold on to them because they feel that's the only way they can be. That's their identity also. And then I've noticed people who actually released that older structure and the identity that had, that was attached to it. And this is what I'm experiencing myself, and I can put words to it. So in case you yourself have been going through something similar, it's happening also on a planetary level, on so many levels. And it's really possible to do a beautiful honoring and releasing, and at the same time, welcoming. So if you need support with this, don't hesitate to reach out to me for private sessions using EFT and other tools. If you're interested in wanting to train with me, I'm giving advanced EFT practitioner certification trainings that are accredited, and you'll be able to, I'm going to share all my knowledge or my experience of the last 10 years. So that happens on a live online training. You can check the description below for more details. And just wishing you love and peace on your journey. I'm still on mine, and I may share more details a bit later on. Thank you for being with me.